Hi guys, and welcome back to another championship prediction video. Last time out we got one score correct. Millwall beating West Brom 2-1. Can we get any more scores correct here? Let's hope so. But before we get into the predictions, make sure that you hit the like button. Let's try and get 5 likes on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're aiming for 200 subs before the end of the year, so we've got quite a way to go, but I'm hoping that you enjoy the content and you make it happen by hitting subscribe. Let's get into my predictions. And we start off Friday night, Blues up against QPR. This is an exciting game, but it's one that hasn't been great to us as of recent times. Blues in pretty good form, only lost 2 out of our last 9 games. We did lose the last one 2-1 against Blackburn, but there were plenty of positives to take. Blackburn are flying at the moment. They got 2 goals in the first half. We pulled one back in the second, and we battered them for that second half. And even Blackburn fans have came out and said if it wasn't for such a brilliant performance from their goalkeeper, Kaminski, they would have lost that game. And it's true. He had a brilliant game. It was just one of those days where nothing really could get past the goalkeeper, but oh well, there were positives. We played very well, so I'll happily take that and on to the next. If we can keep putting up performances like that, we'll keep picking up points. QPR, another side that are in brilliant form, won 5 out of their last 6, and the odds say they will probably win this game. I don't think it's going to be that simple. We're at home. We're going to try and make St Andrews a fortress, I'm hoping, this season, because we've been very good defensively. Got the second best defensive record in the league, actually, so we don't concede many at all. I'm hoping we can nullify QPR's attack and get a point in a 1-1 draw. Bristol City up against Swansea now. Bristol City, last 5 games, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Pointing at a win, but I don't think that's the case. Swansea won 6 out of their last 7 and won 2-0 against Cardiff, their rivals, at the weekend. I don't see anything other than a Swansea win here, which probably means that Bristol City will go on and win, but Swansea to win it 2-0. West Brom up against Sheffield United now, and you'd expect both of these teams to be absolutely flying, but they're both in very bad form. Now West Brom have been in bad form all season. They've only won 2 games, the lowest amount of wins this season, and they've lost 2 in a row. Steve Bruce left, they get a win but then 2 losses. They don't seem to have picked up at all, still sitting in the relegation zone. Sheffield United were brilliant before the international break, but since that break, 6 games without a win. They drew their last one 2-2 against Norwich, a good point, but they still can't get that win, and I bet they cannot wait for this World Cup because they'll be hoping that the other side of that international break, they can start winning again. However, I think they will get all 3 points in this one because West Brom are very, very poor. Sheffield United to win 2-1. Burnley take on Reading next. Burnley have still only lost 1 game this season. They won their last game 1-0 against Norwich. Very good win there. Reading lost 3 in a row, but then they did bounce back at the weekend, beating Bristol City 2-0. I don't see anything other than a Burnley win here. They're in such good form. They're hard to beat. So I don't see Reading winning, but I do favour Burnley to win it rather than a draw. I just think they've started to pick up now. So Burnley to win 2-1. Cardiff up against Rotherham next. Cardiff lost 3 in a row, and they lost the last game against South Wales rivals Swansea 2-0. Not a great game, and well, for them anyway, and they're not in good form. Rotherham have only won 2 out of their last 8, drawing 3 and losing 3, but they did pick up a good point 2-2 against Coventry at the weekend. This is a tough one because Cardiff aren't in good form. Rotherham don't score too many and they're not winning many at the moment. But I'm going to go for the away side to pick up all 3 points. Rotherham to win 1-0. Coventry against Blackpool now. And Coventry have only lost 1 out of 9, are unbeaten in 4 and won 3 in a row before drawing at the weekend 2-2 against Rotherham. Their form has definitely picked up since that starting run. But they did miss a few games at the start. There were a lot of issues around the club. They seem to have picked up now, and I don't think they'll be anywhere near the relegation zone by the end of the season. Blackpool, however, I think could be near the relegation zone, even though they did beat rivals Preston 4-2 at the weekend in a brilliant game. Blackpool have got some good attacking players, but defensively is where they seem to struggle, and I think they're going to lose a lot of games this season. They weren't in good form before that 4-2 victory over Preston, and I just see Coventry getting the better of them here. So Coventry to win 1-0. Huddersfield up against Millwall now. Huddersfield have only won 1 out of 6 since the international break. They did draw 0-0 with Middlesbrough in their last fixture. Millwall have been in very good form, winning 4 in a row and beating Watford and West Brom in their last 2 games. I think Millwall will win this one 2-1. Hull take on Blackburn next. Now Hull have won 2 in a row, 3-1 against Blackpool and 4-2 against Rotherham. So plenty of goals in those games, but they were both away. They haven't won at home for a while, so I'm not sure how this one's going to go. Blackburn are very, very good. Still no draws, won 3 in a row, and they did win their last away game, but they lost the 3 before that. So are Blackburn going to get a second away win in a row, or will Hull be able to stop them? I think Blackburn are in too good form, so I'll go Blackburn to win 2-1. Luton take on Sunderland now, and Luton were unbeaten in 7, 4 wins and 3 draws before losing 4-0 at the weekend against bitter rivals Watford. Not a great match for Luton. I was expecting more. I actually went for them to win, which was quite a ballsy thing to do. It didn't pay off, and Watford turned up. Now Watford are all over the place at the moment, but they seem to turn up in their big games. Sunderland have lost 2 in a row, have only won 1 out of their last 7. They're not in great form, not picking up too many points. So I see Luton getting back to winning ways. Luton to win 2-1. Norwich up against Stoke now. And Norwich haven't won in 6 with 4 losses, losing 1-0 to Burnley in midweek. Stoke lost 2 in a row, won 2 before that, and away they're actually alright. Unbeaten in 4 with 2 wins and 2 draws. And that's the reason I'm going to go down the middle 1-1. Preston take on Middlesbrough next. Preston's last 6 games have been 3 wins and 3 losses. They lost at the weekend 4-2 against rivals Blackpool. Won't have been too happy with that, especially after having such a good defence for most of the season. Conceding 4 against Blackpool, not great. Middlesbrough haven't been in great form, very inconsistent. Drew their last game 0-0 against Huddersfield, and I think it's time for another Preston draw. So I'm going to go 1-1. And our final game is Wigan up against Watford. Wigan aren't in great form, losing 5 out of 6, losing 3 in a row. The latest was 2-1 against QPR at the weekend. Watford are so inconsistent, it's really strange. Under Slaven Bilic, they've been all over the place. 3 wins, 3 losses. And their last 3 games, they got a 2-1 victory against Norwich, then went and lost 3-0 against Millwall before beating high-flying Luton 4-0, a Luton side that haven't lost many games at all this season. So Watford, I just don't know what's going to happen. They seem to turn up in their big games and then lose the ones you'd probably expect them to win. I'm not sure how this one is going to go, but I've got to back the quality. So Watford to win 3-1. So those are my predictions for these championship fixtures. Let me know what your predictions are down in the comments using the fixture list that's in the description. Make sure to hit the like button, remember 5 likes, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any more championship content. Up the Blues.